All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another live New York session. It is May 1st, 2023. And so before we get started, we want to check the news here. And we can see at 10 o'clock, we had PMI news. So we're definitely going to keep that in mind. Friday is NFP, so we're going to be trading that as well, so stay tuned. So we're going to be doing the G.S.A strategy. So that's going to consist of the cheat code indicator and trading ranges. That's going to help us to really figure out when the next extreme move in the market is going to happen. So to get started, we're going to start on the 1 hour time frame. And so let's see. First thing we're going to do is just turn on the cheat code indicator. And we can see that current price here is sticking outside the Bollinger Band. So that's a sign that an extreme in the market is about to happen. But let's go ahead and first of all, figure out what is the overall trend and see where we're at. And then we will figure out what's the current trend and the smaller time frame and draw trading ranges. So we can see that price is overall bearish because of the multiple lows that have been broken throughout this trend. Okay. Price did break some highs here, but then broke some more lows here, and lows just keep on getting broken. A high is broken here, so price might be currently bullish, but let's find out. So let's go on ahead to uh, 15-minute time frame. And then we're going to look at the current trend. So we can see here that price is currently trending up. We can see this swing low started here, pushed price up. We had a small pullback here. So it looked like some structure was broken, and this was a swing high. So let's go ahead and mark these up, and these are our trading ranges. Swing high, swing low. Now, price did break this previous high here. So we're actually looking at previous structure that got broken, which was here. And that's what we're going to look at. So we're going to label these. For the structure. Swing high here. All right. And then we're going to take our fib and go from the most recent swing low to the most recent swing high. And then this is the 50% to 60% area. So I'm looking for price to actually come down to this area and then probably reverse up, which this was the previous structure where price pulled back. So really the break of structure was kind of here, but I just look at the previous low that got broken, so price could come down to this area and push back up as far as doing a counter trend sell and things like that. So we're going to call this our buy zone. Here. And then we're going to put our zone up here. So that's what I'm looking at. Now, again, I'm looking for price to sell and come down to this area, maybe come down to this structure or this structure, and then sell up. So they might probably catch the counter trend sell, depending on where price is at when the 930 candle hits. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually wait for the 915 candle to close, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do. And then when 930 hits, we're just going to focus on price action and just wait when the right time, when it's the right time to get in. So we have about less than 10 minutes before the candle closes. So let's wait for that, and then we'll make a decision on what we're going to do. One more thing we got to do is turn on the cheat code indicator, and we can clearly see that we got a cheat code sell. We had a cheat code sell here. The price is sticking out of that Bollinger Band. So sooner or later, it's going to reverse and go down. And the good thing about it is we can see that this structure is matching up with this Bollinger Band here. So price is probably going to come back down to either this structure or that structure, reversing and push out. So again, let's wait for the 9:15 candle. So we're going to wait a little bit over 9 minutes. Then it's a little over 9 minutes before the 9:15 candle closes. Be right back. All right, so we got less than 10 seconds before the 9:15 candle closes. So I'm planning on selling this. I'll put my entry up here. I'm planning on getting at least this much in gold. So this is going to be the first TP here. This is TP1 over 450 points. And then ultimately get all this liquidity down here. So this is going to be at least TP2. So I'll just say over 1,300 points. So what we're going to do is set my alerts, and then we'll wait for the 9:30 candle, and then we'll look at price action and see if we can get ourselves a good entry there. Be right back. All right, so my alerts has been set. So we have a little bit over 11 minutes before the 9:30 candle sits in, and then at that point, we're going to just study price action. Study the liquidity graph, study everything, and wait for a very, very good entry. So that way we don't get caught into a bull or a bear trap, whichever way price goes. So we'll wait for that, and then we'll initiate our trades once we see a very good entry. So stay tuned. We have less than 11 minutes. All right, so we got a minute before the 9:30 candle closes. So what we're going to do here is, let me turn this off. Zoom this in a little bit more, so that way we can see price action a little bit closer. We're going to bring it down to here. And then we're going to turn on the cheat code indicator. And then we're going to focus on strictly price action when the 9:30 candle closes. Let me go ahead and put in the stop loss and take profit. $2012. 01239. So now the 9:30 candle has closed. It looks like it might have closed below the HMA, but we want to wait for a clear shot before getting in. So we're going to study this price action, so that way we can train our eye to look at price. It's ready to go. Kind of pull back a little bit. So let's wait and see. It might be ready to go. So I initiated my sell trade because it looks like price is ready to sell. But we're going to study price action and just see what price does. I might have initiated the trade a little too quick, but we'll see. So we're just going to study price action and watch it very closely. Let's see. So this is a prime example of me kind of moving a little too quick. But we'll see. Patient. It's actually very closely. It might be selling now. Maybe. It's going to be ready to go. Just have to wait for a little bit here. Dropping now. Okay. Maybe dropping, but let's see. My trend stop loss. Pushing down some more to make sure this stop loss. Suppose all right, guys, my computer froze on me, so let me go back to the screen in a minute. All right, so let's try to price the straight selling. So grab my profit and price me out of it behind me here. It might be reading structure and then up. I don't know what I was thinking. Let's see what's going on. Let's keep on looking at price action. Probably should have jumped out before price went the other way. This was probably my sell point there. That's what I probably should have did. But we'll see. Watching this price. So taking that profit and got my profit target. And we'll wait. Check that. Stay there. Let's see. Close that property, and I was right down there. Should have closed it. So lesson learned. Might still be selling. Might be. I'm losing $100. So price hit this structure and then decide to buy up. That's what happened. I'll wait for the next candle and see if it reverses, but if it doesn't, then I'm just going to take this loss. Should have taken my profit and priced it down to there. I don't know what I was thinking. We'll see what the next candle does. And then if it continues to go well, we'll just take the loss. We'll wait for the next candle here. Buy. We'll see. That's why we're studying price action, so we can learn this. Might be selling down finally. Maybe. But it will finally settle down again. But there's a lot of things on this trade that we did that we could have did better. We need to choose our entries a lot better next time. Still waiting for this price action to do its thing. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's so good now. So I'm about to try to stop loss here. It looks like it's trying to drop. I just need to close it next time. That's what I need to do. Instead of trying to trade it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm gonna close my trade, $58. Great. I'm about to document this. So let me pause this recording. I'm gonna document this and then resume this recording. So as you can see, price dropped all the way down to this zone. So we would have got a really, really good sell if we had held it, but it's okay. And it's still hitting this area. So that means we marked it up perfectly. So I'm going to do a back testing session on this. This was good. See, we got in here, I think we dropped out of here somewhere, so maybe close to 400 points we caught, but a total of over 1,300 point move that gold did. So now price is probably has done its counter trend sell and is probably going to buy up. So I already document my results. Let me show you the results and then we'll end this session. And I'll do a back testing session later. All right, so this is my live account on NVFX. NVFX. And then I made $58 on this after they took out charges. They charged almost $3. So $58.09. But so far I've grown my account to $962. Originally started with almost 200, then added 461. So really, grew the account from really $500 to 962. So when we look at the calculator here, let me just pull up the calculator. So let's say, $962.80, subtract $500. And so far on the strategy, we made $465.80 within the first month. So that's not bad. So that pays for the subscription. Is only $127 a month. So the strategy is working. It's really working. And it looks like price really drops at this point. So that's good. So we'll go ahead and wrap up this live session, and we'll be doing a back testing session on this later. Take care.